We're all going to go over some tips on how to make a vocal thick, and I promise you there are 3 tips in here that you've never seen anywhere else before. Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Fuego. If you haven't yet, please get subscribed, click the like button. All right, so I'm going to run through the setup rather quickly so I can get to what I really want to show you. So this is the vocal on process.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you everything you wanted?
All right, so first in the chain is 1176. It's not doing much.
So how can you go out?
All right, not doing much. Next one is a Neve compressor for a little bit of body.
So how can you go out?
Right, and then the CLA3A, just kind of riding the vocal.
So how can you go out?
Right, not doing too much. And this one is doing a little bit more than the last few plugins. Here's what it's doing.
So how can you go out?
Before.
So how can you go out? So how can you go out?
So that one's really going in there and kind of like even out the performance and maybe smoothing out some of these unwanted frequencies that are poking out way too much, in my opinion. So it's doing the job that the Soothe 2 would be doing in the chain. All right, and then we have Decapitator for a little bit of body and warmth and harmonic distortion.
So how can you go out and find somebody else?
Right, and then R comp. A lot of people may not know that you can do upward compression or expanding with the R comp. So that's what we're doing here. Instead of having the ratio going this way, you push it this way instead of going that way for compression.
So how can you go out?
Let me turn it up.
So how can you go out?
Instead of going that way for compression, you push it the other way for expanding.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you?
Right. Next in line is the mini EQ.
So how can you go out?
Right, not doing much. And then, so this is what I really want to show you. So at this point, I have everything kind of quite where I want it, So this is a before and after.
So how can you go out?
After.
So how can you go out?
Nice and strong and present. But, you can still hear that the upper mid-range is still inconsistent. So if I play this little bit of the performance for you, you can hear that for whatever reason, the upper mid-range is not full.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you everything you wanted?
Listen to body and else.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you everything you wanted?
Like when you listen to body and else, it's like the enunciation drops for whatever reason. I don't know if she turns away from the microphone or I don't know. It's like something happened to where there's a hole in the frequency spectrum for her voice right there at around 3 to 5, 3 to 6K-ish. So to fix that, I have so I split so this, I have the parallel split here. On one half I'm doing some parallel processing. On the other half, which is the dry vocal, on the dry vocal I have this multi-band split here, which is one of the tricks. So one of the tricks is you can split, you can put a parallel split here, and then you have like, you can put as many rows as you like. On one row I have, which is the dry vocal, I have a multi-band split, and then on the compression, on the parallel processing side, which you can see down here, that it's clearly a parallel processing chain. We're doing some stuff, and then on the other side I have a multi-band split. So what I do, I split it in half. Well, not quite half. So I split it at 2500 hertz. So 25K, 2.5K at 2.5K, and then on those top mid, high mid frequencies, I have the true iron on there. So without it.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you
So you hear those holes at body and else, right? And here it is in.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you everything you wanted?
Right. So it kind of like fills those holes a little bit.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you everything you wanted?
All right. So, and what that is, and this is a transformer that is found in the Neumann Telefunken microphones, which enhances the mid-range, the upper mid-range presence of those types of microphones and preamps. So this plugin to me is a must-have, and it's usually, I think right now it's on sale for like $20 or $27. All right, so next one in the chain is the parallel chain. What's happening here is I am pushing a good amount of 6K into this bluey compressor, pushing a good amount of 1K into that bluey as well, and then pushing everything I could find at 200 hertz right into that compressor as well. And then we have an MV2 doing a whole bunch of low level compression. So this is what then the other plugin is the Kramer. So this is what that is doing. If I were to exaggerate it, so it's all the way at the top at 0, which is bad.
So how can you go out?
Right. So bang down to 25.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you everything you wanted?
Without it.
So how can you go out and
with it?
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I...
Right. And then here's the other trick. So this is a free plugin, and what I'm doing here with it is just open up the image just a little bit, just a tad bit, and you can hear it. It's a pretty big difference. Like the vocal has gotten this much thicker. Here it is before.
So how can you go out and find somebody else?
After.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when I give you everything you wanted?
All right, so this is a free plugin by Brainworks and Plugin Alliance. So, this is just down there for insurance, making sure like nothing goes over negative 18.
So how can you go out and find somebody else when,
you know, but if I were to bypass just the studio rack and the solo, you get.
So how can you go out?
Bring those in.
So how can you go out?
Right. So, and it's the same. If you're looking at the meters, it's the same level. But you know, like if you do those processes, you know, maybe it may not be in that same sequence. But if you follow, I feel like if you follow that path, you get a pretty thick vocal, right? And that's it.
Yes, Jesus. Yes, God.
Thank you so much for watching. Well, please, if you enjoy stuff like that, please definitely like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon. That way you won't miss any of these great tips on how to get your mix all the way up to par with the pros. Again, I've been Fuego, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.